Hey guys, Romie here, so please like, comment, subscribe. This is my review for Real Housewives of Potomac, Season 2, Episode 14. Reunion Part 2. Now, I don't understand why since when is the Part 2 and the last part of the reunion a whole lot better than the entire season? I just want to know that. That's what I really want to know. Because it starts off with the husbands and the significant others or ex-significant others are there. They're there, and Andy's having some, general chit-chat and conversation. And we find out a couple of things. We're just going to start it off with Ray. Ray wanted it to be known, well, because as we know, Karen did the move, and Karen wanted to move. Ray ended up moving, or the both of them, and Ray tells a story like this. I love my wife. I love her dearly. When we moved into the Potomac house, I thought that was pretty big, and that was too big for us, even with the kids. I said, okay. Now, she said she wants to move, and I said I want to move. She said, okay. I said, let's downsize. She said, okay. And next thing I know, this woman went and got something bigger. He didn't say it like this, but she got something bigger. And I didn't understand what was going on, because later on I find out, oh, she got it for her parents as well so that they can move in. Now, of course, I didn't know that was the plan. I talked to the parents, and the parents say they didn't know either. So Karen was trying to do some okey doke, and I just didn't understand why. What was going on there? It just didn't make any sense. Now, we switch over to when because Ray was ready. Karen wasn't ready, but Ray was ready. Because they did bring up the fact that what Ray was saying to Giselle. And he said, of course, I just said that because you wanted my honest opinion. You wanted an unfiltered opinion, so I gave you one. I didn't think that was, being malicious or attacking you. It kind of felt that way, that you thought that that's where it was coming from. So I wanted to make sure that wasn't the case. She's like, no, of course I didn't know. So that whole comment with you saying the Uncle Ben thing, I didn't know who Uncle Ben was. I said, wait a minute, Ray. Wait a minute, Ray, what? What? So then he said he had to Google Uncle Ben, and then it's like, oh, Uncle Ben looks good. All right, I'll take that as a compliment. Thank you. Oh, Ray. Oh, my God. So then it switches over to him going to Charisse and the whole Black Bill Gates, because he was like, we're doing well and we got some money, but we're not Bill Gates. And so that switches over to the whole, and Charisse, when you were making that comment about how I was like, oh, essentially saying that I wasn't who people were saying I was when it came to money and all of that. And he said, look, obviously I'm not Bill Gates. None of us around here are Bill Gates, have Bill Gates money. Everyone's like, yeah, you right about that. You already know. And Robin had that look of, damn right. I don't. But he said, here's the thing. But when you said what you said, it made it seem like that I wasn't. Here's the thing. I'm not rich beyond belief, but I'm comfortable. I've employed a lot of people. I ran a solid business. We're not going to talk about the taxes, because that's a whole separate thing. I don't know how that happened, but allegedly it did, and so I'm sure they're handling that accordingly. But he said, it was so bad for me growing up that we weren't even allowed in Section 8. For affordable housing. We were denied affordable housing. We were poor, and we were denied affordable housing. So I don't care what anyone says. I'm doing the dang thing right now. I said, yeah, Ray, that's what I'm talking. Ray stunned on them. They had nothing to say. Stunned on them, because I feel like these women respect when the man actually has an opinion and a backbone. So that's what happened with Ray, and I appreciate that immensely. Next, we're going to move on to, I do feel bad for Monique, because Monique, her mother-in-law, when she made those slick comments, Monique was like, she's used to her mother-in-law saying things, but she never knew what she was saying. So with the cameras there and her being mic'd up and finally be able to hear it, even her husband was just like, oh my God. So then it's like, have you talked to your mom? I did talk to her. I know they haven't talked for around a year, and she hasn't been to the new house yet. And Monique's just like, no, she's not invited. No, of course she's invited. I guess. But that is pretty messed up. That's not something. Dang, that mother-in-law has no chill. I understand that that's her baby boy. But come on, you have to have some type of a chill. So now we move on to the main event, which is, well, what we thought was the main event. Juan. Juan and Andy made it very clear. Okay, so your relationship with Robin, how do you feel about her? Well, I love her, and we're taking it one step at a time. We're just we're already friends, so we're trying to see how it works out, essentially giving each other 6 months to see where it goes, and after that, whatever. It's like, okay. So then he continues on, and Andy said, now, production caught you saying some slick stuff, and Robin said, let me interject. I know how it looked, but I know that wasn't his true intention. Juan said, I definitely wasn't trying to hurt Robin. We know that. We know you weren't trying to hurt her, but we also know that you were fed up. And from how it looked, it was very hurtful. We get it. You want to go and potentially do your own thing. We know that you love Robin and she loves you. And Robin said, I know people say that I'm more invested or love with Juan than Juan's in love with me type of thing. I mean, her. And my whole thing is, it doesn't matter what the truth is. It's about our perception. And in all honesty, I'm not even going to go and debate. That's our perception. And Juan wanted to make it very clear that, I don't disrespect Rob. Because the thing is, the cheating was brought up. And because Andy was just saying, so Robin, you think that there's going back, even though he cheated on you? And Juan said, hold up. See, what I'm not going to let you do is go and assassinate my character. Yes, I did cheat, but there were things on both sides that you guys aren't privy to. So it just looks really bad because you're only getting one side. Always remember, there's two sides. I said, even though that's the full God's honest truth, that's not what we were peddled for 2 seasons. So that's why we're going off of this. You can't come on here now, finally look at the blogs and realize, oh my God, people are actually saying these things, so now I feel a certain way. No, I get it. Your wife was the one, your ex-wife was the one that wanted to be on TV more so than you, and so you just went along with it because that was her main storyline. We got it. No problem. Actually, that's pretty much it because it's just going round and round in circles at that point. Yeah. So, Jesus. I did not see this one coming. Andy asked Ashley, how's her relationship going? They're separated. Ashley and Michael are separated. Not only are they separate, they are really separated, like officially out of the house. Because Robin, the first thing she was like, oh, so who moved out of the house? I said, you know what? Because Ashley was messy before, I'll let you have that one. But you can't, but you better not go and do that whole, yeah, but we really care. We want, no. Because it's all still petty in games if you're going and asking who moved out of the house. I get it. It's a power play and all that. And it's also saying, okay, I'm really fed up with this, so I'm going to go and leave. Ashley left. Ashley left out of the house. They're both unhappy. The restaurant was an issue. Her mom, Ashley's mom, was being fully supported by Michael, and she wanted the restaurant to work so that she could support her mom instead of it being Michael. A lot of decisions. Ashley's still young, a lot younger in a lot of ways, and because of that, Michael's already settled. He knows what he wants. Ashley's still doing the career, getting it all up and going. And I said, okay, I understand that. I did feel bad because everyone was shocked that they were actually separated. Yes, they expected them to say, yeah, we still have problems, but, and this is why I respect about Ashley. Ashley is borderline an open book. You ask her almost anything and the truth comes out. And on a reality show, I think that's a commodity. So I have to give it to her because there's very few people on reality shows that are as honest as Ashley is. She just, Sometimes she does too much. A lot of times she does too much. But one thing you can't take away from her is that she is honest. We're saying Giselle? No, Giselle's still very guarded. Ashley will go and put it all out there, along with talk about your own mess. So at least we get that from her. But then Michael wanted to go and say, well, you know, Giselle, Robin, Charisse, especially Giselle and Charisse, you two going and orchestrating that stuff at the restaurant, that didn't help. And then they were like, no, wait a minute, don't put your marriage qualms on us. And he said, no, let me correct myself. When you went to the restaurant and did all that mess, the reason why Ashley and I had an argument that day was because she said she was still going to invite everyone anyway. And because she was going to do that anyway, it was a really professional setting. And I was pissed because why would you invite people who really don't have your best interests at heart? I said, okay, even though that makes sense, what I will have said is, I feel a certain way about the fact that you guys said these things, and okay, my wife said these things, fine. But then on social media, you going saying stuff to stir the pot, and then your fans coming after us saying all this stuff, putting ideas in all of our heads and causing fights. And I feel like Ashley's the type that'll go on social media, look at it for days, read everyone's comments, answer half of them, and then go to Michael like, yeah, well, by the way, mister, why'd you do this? Why'd you do that? So it's just tough. It's just tough. Everyone feels bad. Everyone feels genuinely bad because that's the last thing you want to hear. You can tell Michael really wants the relationship. He does, but I think he feels like maybe it's just better to set her free instead of having to have her try and make something work. My whole thing is I think Ashley wants it too, but her, again, she doesn't feel a certain level of respect, and he also doesn't feel a certain level of respect. It's both of their issues are so similar. It's just coming from two different points of views, and so he was just like essentially saying how if he needs to set her free so she can really be happy. He went along those lines, and then Karen and Giselle both caught it and were like, no, I understand. We know what you're saying. We know that you want it to work, but don't say something like that to her, because what that's kind of telling her is that even though you do love her and you would want it to work, you're not necessarily trying to go and fight to see if you can make it work, because your relationship is damaged. And I appreciate them for the most part showing love and admiration, showing some love to Ashley, because even though Ashley was messy, they're like, you're a part of this, you're a part of the group. At the end of the day, you're one of us. You're one of us. You're one of us. And now, what are we gonna go next to? Where do you want to go next to? Charisse. Do you want to go to Charisse? I don't know. Listen to this. That was the weird thing. Ashley was bringing up some parties that Charisse was doing in the past, and it's like, I heard he did some freaky parties, and Charisse said, yeah, of course I have. Next thing we know, Giselle was just like, some sex toy parties. I said, okay. Speaking of parties, they switch up, because I get it where that conversation was trying to go, because they got on Monique about, wait a minute, you went and did a $30,000 party. She said, hold up, it was $25,000, and she looked over at Robin like, I have no idea how you figured that out, but then again, you are, a planner, so it makes sense, because Robin did get it right. I said, oh my God, this is, okay, you got your job, congratulations. But that kind of opened the door, not that, but the earlier comment about the throwing the parties. It got to this weird segment with the money, and Monique made sure to make it very clear that I donate lots, but I also like to spend on my family, and what's wrong with spending on my family? And I said, no, there's nothing wrong. But then again, it takes a turn, because now it becomes Karen versus Charisse. And here's the thing, Karen and Charisse they're friends, but you can tell that Giselle and Charisse are closer friends. And for example, maybe Giselle and Karen are closer friends than Karen and Charisse. And that's why they don't get along. They've probably never had to be around each other for so long and the show changed the whole dynamic of their friendship. And one of the things that were made clear is that, again, Robin was saying how she wasn't a pit bull. Well, no one told her to do it. She went there because she had a real qualm. And then it gets to the petty, where we're talking about fire marshals and blue eyes. I said, what? So the main crux of this is Charisse has had a couple of boyfriends, slip and slides. Some people come in and out. And, what? That doesn't sound right. Some people that she may have been dating while she was in her marriage. And I said, look, I get it. Charisse is painting a certain picture, so anything that doesn't fall into that picture, she's going to deny. Whether it's the full truth or a partial truth. Karen's trying to spill something. Giselle was the one who kind of put it out there, but because Giselle apologized, Karen said, no, okay, I'm going to take it up for the cause. And then it switches over to Blue Eyes. We're like, who's Blue Eyes? Blue Eyes is Karen's bodyguard, driver, tall helper. And Monique said she met Blue Eyes. She thought he was the driver. Karen said, thank you. Giselle said, yeah, I thought he was the driver, but, I have heard rumors for years that you two may have had something, or people thought it was weird that you were out and about with this guy. And I'm thinking, Karen, why did you forget that you were mugged years ago? Why won't you just say, I have him around because I feel safer walking the streets or just being out and about with this guy there? That would have stopped it right there, or at least partially, because people will look stupid arguing with you over that, especially all the stuff that you went through. But instead, you went with the guilty, oh wait, but Giselle, they can say a lot about you in these streets, and they do, but the one thing they can't say to you is that you're a liar, that you're just a liar, and that you're just a con. No, you tell the truth. I'm thinking, you don't want to go to Giselle right now because Giselle's going to say she heard the rumor about you and Blue Eyes as well. And the whole thing is, I honestly don't care what anyone says. I don't believe that Karen necessarily cheated on Ray. I do think that Blue Eyes, as she called him, was her eye candy that she may have used to get herself ready for Ray. I 100% believe that. I believe that she flirted. I believe that she probably was a little too close for comfort, and a lot of people will consider it inappropriate. But do I think that they just went, No. And I wish Karen would have calmed down, because Karen definitely acted like she was under attack. I said, Karen, if you're supposed to be telling us that you're telling the truth, then calm it down. You look guilty by being like, wait, no, that's not how you play. You do the opposite. Because another thing was when Ashley, earlier back, when Ashley was talking about, your parties, and yes, maybe Ashley was being a little snarky, a little sarcastic, we know that, and possibly shady, that word irks me. When Charisse said, well, I heard that you and your husband go to gay clubs, I'm thinking, but they admitted that in, season 1 or season 2? Weren't they at a club? You can't go and shame someone when he's standing there light. You can't do that. I know I took that from the Scorpion, from Kevin and McKellen, the Scorpion Show, another YouTube channel. I think that's what he said. Because his actual phrase was, how can you shame me when I'm standing in my light? And it's so true. It fits this perfectly. You can't go. Ashley is borderline an open book, and to a certain degree, Michael is as well. So that whole little tit for tat game isn't going to work over here. Listen to the swooshes. Yeah, so, wait a minute. Let me know if I skipped anything, because they're only talking about Blue Eyes right now. And I'm thinking, this is pretty much over. So how it really ends is essentially like everyone feels bad for Ashley. They're like, okay, Monique acknowledged that she's actually good with Giselle. Giselle acknowledged the same thing, because Giselle said it was actually hard to watch because I know that we're in a better place. We actually do hang out and we do actually talk-ish. And the only thing that concerns me is when Giselle went on the Breakfast Club. Was she just trying to rile things up? Or did she mean what she said when she was like, oh yeah, Monique and I, no, we're not that good. No, we're not that this. No, we're not that. And no, her and Rob don't even like either. I'm thinking, did something happen after the reunion? What happened? Because the reunions happened maybe like 2 or 3 weeks ago. And the Breakfast Club interview was a while back, so maybe Giselle felt a certain way before the reunion. I'm not sure. Maybe that's what it was. I hope so, because it just seems petty at that point if they still have things. Robin's working on her still relationship with Juan, and Karen and Ray apparently are having lots of sex. I hope YouTube isn't like docking me because I use these words. I don't even curse. So I hope that me saying certain words that aren't even bad, they're in the dictionary. YouTube better not be docking me. Better make sure that check is right. All right, guys. Thanks for watching.